Hi. Welcome to another Sunday of the Gift of Gab. Hello. How are you beautiful people? Yes, you are tuned in for another Sunday with Gabby, your favorite. So before I get started on what I'll be talking about today and my guest, just, a little bit of talk beforehand. I wanted to talk to you guys about Black Friday that's coming up. So for this entire week, I want to do free promo for any small Black owned business, no matter where you are in the world, the country. If you're watching this or you know someone that has a business that might need help promoting for the holiday season, hit me up because, I get pretty good views and a lot of people seem to take, my opinion into consideration. So this entire week, I will be doing free promo for Black owned businesses. So please stay tuned for that. I'll be starting that tomorrow. And then for the month of December, I'll put out some prices. Nothing too crazy. I'll make it affordable for folks. But just know that if I'm going to be promoting you, it's going to be going on my Facebook. It'll be going on my Instagram, my Twitter, and honestly my Snapchat too, because I have a pretty good following on all those platforms. So again, to reiterate, this entire week, I will be doing free promo for Black-owned businesses for Black Friday. I think it's important that I show my support to you guys. Of course, I'm doing a whole show around it. And, I want to make sure that my community feels like they're being taken care of. Because a lot of times it feels like we are on the back burner. And I want us to be on the front burner, okay? I think that's all the business I have. Like I've been saying on all my lives when I start them, I'm doing 2 lives a month. I'm thinking next month I'm gonna push it and do 3. I have a couple of guests in mind. And then again, I appreciate feedback. If you guys have any friends or family that you think deserves a spotlight on them, then definitely let me know. I'm looking to start working with people I don't know and don't have a connection with. I wanted to start doing the Gift of Gab when I started this back in February. I wanted to make sure that I interview people that I know. And I wanted to feel comfortable around my guests. And I wanted them to know that they have my support and they always will. So now that I feel comfortable, I'm not nervous anymore. I'm not. So now that I feel comfortable and I feel like I've interviewed a lot of people that I grew up with, especially tonight, my guest Shana. Hopefully we won't go into too much detail of the old days, but I've known her for most of my life, honestly. So I feel comfortable now. So I want to start interviewing people that I don't know, people that I've never met, and people that I can start to form a relationship with. So yeah, next month, hopefully I'll be doing 3, but we'll see. But for now, it's definitely 2. So without further ado, I'm going to invite my guest in. Like I said, her name is Shana Knight. I see my sister in here. Hey, I see Destiny. Trendy D's Closet. Let me know. I will definitely promote you. Your business is so cute.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good now. I had to eat. I took a 10-minute nap. I chugged a bunch of water and I took some Tylenol. So
That
I'm
always
back to
does
life.
it.
How are you today, boo?
I am great. It's been such a chill Sunday, but productive. We have a busy week, and as you know, we'll talk a little bit more about why it's so busy.
I know you were busy.
It's pretty crazy, but it's so worth it. It's like a labor
of course
of love.
it is.
Yeah.
And that's always my favorite. Like the planning, and then you finally get to the day of the event.
Yep.
It's like
so worth it.
It's so
and then you're on like a high for the next couple of days after.
Right? It's like I can do anything.
Yeah. That feeling's like addicting. Like
it is addicting.
Yeah.
And honestly, not to get into too much of it, but I want to be the voice to say, everything's not always shiny. I don't look like this every day.
Right.
I don't wake up and I'm happy. I have days where I go through depression and depressed spells. And, something I've been struggling with is not being able to plan these events.
Right.
Of course, I can do virtual things, which I've been doing.
Yeah.
But the in-person aspect is more me. And not being able to plan events or working like day of logistics is like really hard.
Yeah, I know you. So I know it's got to be hard, but you're learning.
Exactly.
This whole virtual thing is like this is the world now.
This is the world now. Yeah. And honestly, it took me a lot of time to get to this point, but I'm glad I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, it's virtual now. Okay, let's get over the in-person handshaking, which I love to do.
Yeah.
We're on the computer screen now on our phones.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But without further ado,
At least you don't have to wear
Shana.
pants. It's like, I'm just kidding.
No, but for real, I almost wore my yoga pants, and I'm like, they might see that.
Yeah, my yoga pants. I mean, I'm chill right now. It's Sunday night. I know you're
Who
not.
cares?
Yeah, but I am. Let me hold on.
You. Yes.
I'm wearing a shirt by Bearded Kings, and I think he follows Soul Street. And I got it at a black pop-up market. So it says So Melanated. Shout out to him. Go follow him. Go look at who we follow. Bearded King. Yep.
Is that the market you went with my sister?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, she said that you guys had a really good time.
Yeah, it was great. Got some inspiration.
Good. Yeah, and hopefully someone that you could hopefully collab with later on.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely. We got the same mission in mind. We can only do more together. So if you're watching, let's partner.
Definitely, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll watch. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to do just a little intro. So like I've said, this is Shana Knight. I grew up with her, and she started her own nonprofit recently. It was in 2020, correct?
Yes. Yep. Back in June is when we started.
June. It's crazy I had to ask that because it feels like this year has been like 5 years long.
Yeah, so. For sure.
So Soul Street. So it means sustaining our unique legacy.
Yes.
And that's something that I love. I love a good acronym. So if you wanted to introduce yourself in Soul Street and everything.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm Shana. I grew up, around Gabby. We've known each other, and I won't get into it because she said not to. But no, she's great. And I've been working in the nonprofit field like most of my career. And just this year, and after George Floyd, after he was killed, I think a lot of people were in a state of like, well, one, we've been in the house locked up on quarantine, and then all we could do was sit on Facebook and watch people talk about what was going on. And I think a lot of people just wanted to do more than march the streets and more than just sit and talk on Facebook. A lot of people felt like how I felt, just like we felt helpless, like we wanted to do more. So I know that it was kind of pivotal for us. Like we had seen this many times, time and time again, the same thing. We fear for our brothers, our dads, and now even our sisters in our own lives. Like it's happening, they're not discriminating. So I think that people realize like the power of shopping Black-owned businesses. A lot of people recently learned about Black Wall Street. And I actually kind of learned of it recently. It wasn't this year, but it was like last year, the year before, and how powerful like it was and what happened and how disgusting it was. And I even remember we started around the time Trump was about to go rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Juneteenth. Yeah. Okay. So
what a troll.
Right. So not to get too like off topic, but so a lot of us realized the power in supporting Black-owned businesses and building generational wealth. So we were trying to find places to shop. It's not that easy though. There's not many, and they're not getting enough visibility. And there's not like a place locally for us that it's easy to find like all the essentials that you need. You can get a lot of things, but so we were starting to realize we needed that. Yeah. So we had a minority business group that someone created on Facebook, and someone had made a post saying, "Hey, let's put our heads together and make a Black grocery store." And I was just scrolling my Facebook, not much to do, being stuck in the house. And I said, it'd be cool if we started like a Black farmers market. So I had a little chit chat with this person, and she was like, do it, like start it. And I was like, why not? So I made a Facebook post on my personal page, and a bunch of people were on the same page. They're like, let's do it. I'm in. And literally that was in June, and we've met every Tuesday since then. I remember we were so excited about this idea, like, because it hasn't been done here. There has not been a Black-owned farmers market in Frederick. You go to a lot of farmer markets, you don't see much representation, if any at all. No. Right. So, and that's like the easiest way, because like a grocery store, that could take years, and that could definitely be something we work toward. But we could put together a Black farmers market, because the community and the economy was starting to open back up. Yeah, the outside was opening back up. So we decided to plan a market. Boom, we had to come up with a name for ourselves. So we went back and forth, and soul just, it fit, like, right, like soul, like the culture, and we made an acronym for it, and that's where Soul Street was born. We've had 2 markets since June, and they were both amazing. The community responded so well. It was like confirmation that this was needed in Frederick.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that we can say that we are the first Black-owned farmers market that happened in Frederick. So
Woo!
that was, yeah, I know, right? It feels so good, but
it's so nice.
People wanted to support. There's a lot of people who showed up in the streets to protest with us, you know, a lot of white allies. And they came on 4th of July was our first market, and they came on 4th of July, and they waited outside in the heat to get into our like limited capacity space. It was a small space.
I remember.
Yeah. And that was confirmation. And I think the second sign of confirmation was the simple fact that a lot of our vendors had vended for the first time at our market. And when they came and they set up to see how it would go, they sold out. And that was exactly what we wanted to do. We were like, we want to not only like promote the current Black businesses that are there, but we also want to cultivate new Black businesses. So we had like people who had this like hobby and this talent and this gift come out and finally get the confirmation they needed to like pursue business. So we created a few Black-owned businesses in the few months of our existence, and we are working toward becoming a nonprofit. So we're not officially a nonprofit right now, but yeah. So that's where we're at, and our next event is Black Friday. We had a plan to do something big in person, and you know, but COVID came back, and we're gonna go ahead and adapt.
And we have to work with the times. And
exactly.
That's what a lot of businesses are having to learn. And you know, even myself with my own small business, with my media company, you have to work with the times. You know,
absolutely.
Sometimes you have to cancel, and that's okay, or postpone.
Yep.
But I like that you didn't do that. And I think that shows, you know, perseverance, because you're like, okay, I love that your main cause is to reach out to the Black community and let them know that you're there. And I like that, you know, I'm sure part of it was you didn't want to let the vendors down.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, people pay their money, they pay a vendor's fee, they plan, they make sure they have product, and you know, there's a lot that goes around it. And
absolutely,
when you cancel these events, you know, that could be canceling future income for people.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really genius when you were like, okay, we're gonna switch this in person to a virtual.
Yeah, and I have 2 things on that. So it wasn't like an easy decision, right? No. Like I have to say that our team is amazing. Like I get emotional thinking about it, because like we all own this. Like I pulled the team together, but it's a team of entrepreneurs and other talented individuals, leaders in our community. And I remember at one point in the call when we were talking about going virtual, I was like, guys, we don't have to do this. We could just cancel. They were like, no, we're doing this. I was like, you're right. Okay,
that's a real thought, though.
I mean, but you have to be, it's scary because there's a lot in a short span of time that goes into a virtual event. But now the reason why we're not canceling, the number one reason, is because, okay, COVID is shutting everything down. But guess what? It's 2020. People are still going to shop. People are still going to spend their money for the holidays. And there's a deeper meaning to this event. Like it's about using your spending power. And we're going to still let people know that these businesses are here and that you can support them for the holidays and beyond that. So even if it's like a shipwreck, at least we tried.
At least we tried.
Like, if we have technical difficulty, but we're not. It's going to be great, and we're still going to get visibility out there about these businesses.
That's perfect. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, I know it's going to be, you know, a hard event, because from what I know, it's going to be a few hours long, correct?
Yeah, it is. So our original event time was 1 to 5, and I think we're going to keep that same time. Like that's our time frame. We are going to take like a little intermission, but we have so it's more than just like QVC style where we're featuring.
Right. So like here's
this. Yeah, we're gonna have that, but we're gonna have some commercials of Black-owned businesses. We have a DJ.
Before we get into this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't mind if you do. Yeah. I want people to know exactly what we're talking about. Okay. So you can go ahead and make sure you let them know where it's going to be and what it's called, just so everyone knows.
Sure. Okay. So we're having a Soul Street Black Friday pop-up. It's going to be virtual now. Shout out to Jerk and Jive Caribbean Kitchen. They were going to sponsor, and they are sponsoring. They were going to give us their parking lot.
Right.
And we were going to have like over 30 vendors and a Black Santa, and it was going to be awesome.
Yes, Black Santa.
I know. But, you know, COVID said, so Governor Hogan said, nope. So we're going to pivot virtual, and shout out to Facebook for the capability to go live. So we're going to stream live from a platform. The inspiration is QVC style. I know it sounds funny, but it's going to have a little culture to it. So we're going to have a DJ, and we're going to feature the vendors who had already signed up to be at our market. We invited them back on. We lowered the vendor fee because, we want them to still see the worth in this. And we're hooking them up with a nice photo package of their products. So they have marketing materials, and they're going to get a copy of their spot. Yeah, for sure. We want to make sure we can really do this. So we had to cut back on how many people we could have, though.
Right.
So we went out and filmed a few vendors to like pre-record and air like shorter spots. So it's like a whole production. Yeah. And the thing is, so how it's going to work, because like you can't call and buy like QVC. But we're going to make sure you're hooked up with their website, their social media, you know where to follow them. And they're going to have Black Friday specials, so you can act now type of thing. So they're really excited about it. We're super excited. Our team has been working so hard. Like a lot of us, like they're entrepreneurs, but they have day jobs. And we're like losing sleep because we want to make this fun. Like our DJ is going to kill it. We're going to still have a Black Santa. That was probably, I shouldn't have said that. That was supposed to be a surprise. It's okay. But we got other surprises. So you definitely want to tune in. It's going to be fun. Like, honestly, what you can do is put it up on your TV, heat up your leftovers, get a bottle of wine or your drink of choice, whatever. Have your kids sit around, wrap Christmas presents, and like see who you can support this Black Friday. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
That is so awesome. I'm not sure if other people are doing this, but this is like a really innovative idea.
It is. It is. We're excited. I feel like, especially for like our area, Frederick, like nothing like this has been done. So this is definitely something new. Exactly. And it, like I said it briefly, this is more than just like a shopping event. Like we want to kind of spread a message, like as I may have said, we came together as a form of like activism, right? Like we didn't want to just sit behind our computer screens and type what we thought. We wanted to do something. And we realized it wasn't easy to support Black businesses because of the lack of visibility and the barriers that exist. So we wanted to create something, at least in our area at first. So this is still a form of activism. This is still a protest. And we're asking people, if you were with us, marching the streets and, protesting with us, if you came to our first 2 markets, we're asking you to show up again because you do have power in your dollars. So come circulate that dollar in the Black community. And we actually just shared a post today on our social media about how we can look at our dollars as votes. Okay. Who you spend your money with is who you are endorsing, who you are supporting. And I will say, like, this year I boycotted several businesses because I realized like who they were endorsed, like what campaigns they were supporting.
Like Chick-fil-A?
I wasn't gonna name drop, but okay. Yeah. Chick-fil-A. So research who you're spending your money with. But seriously, when you support Black owned businesses, and this is one example. When you support a Black owned business, you're supporting diversity in your area and culture. So when these businesses try to go have their products on like, Target shelves, Target knows what like a brush for your edges is. Like you don't have to convince them to put an edges brush on their shelf. And I will say there are barriers. Like Black business owners are having to convince and like be not taken serious by large corporations to get their products on their shelves. So we need to continue to support Black owned businesses. I could get all into that, but
I love it. Yeah. The biggest thing I took away from that is it's a form of activism.
Yes, absolutely.
I would have never thought of it like that. It's such a good way to think of things. It is.
It's a form of activism. There are ways you can, put it into your budget to support Black businesses.
That's important.
And we're not just talking to, I'm gonna get real. We're not just talking to white people. We're talking to Black people too. This has been a time of reflection, and I've realized how much of my spending wasn't going toward Black businesses. I'm still trying to work on it. It's not easy when they're not as visible, like, and it's not as convenient. Like, going to Walmart to get what you need is super convenient. But that's why Soul Street's here. We're trying to create a super easy way for people to just go get what they need. If it's not there, then we go and cultivate it. Okay, so you know how to make deodorant? All right, well, we have a deodorant vendor. But like, okay, you know how to make furniture? Good. Like, come work with us.
That's what we need to start pushing for. And that's
sure.
something I wrote in my notes is we had spoken earlier, and I said a lot of times, you know, maybe if you, even the Black community, I would say, even outside of it, you could say, you know, I want to buy something Black owned. People automatically think of food, and they automatically think of clothing. But we need to start thinking about it in a bigger picture and start thinking about carpenters, start thinking about plumbers, dentists, your kids' pediatrician. We need to start getting to a point where we're not just, okay, well, I bought this Black-owned, I bought some soap from a Black-owned business. I feel good inside. I did my, you know, my perk for the day. And it's like, imagine if you could feel that good knowing that your money is going into Black pockets like consecutively for different jobs. And that's what we need to get. And I think doing a Black farmers market like this in such a small Black community in Frederick is important. And I think that it's a first step.
Absolutely. It is. And you touched on some good points too. There were some other, I was kind of looking into like other cultures and how they support each other. And there are some numbers out there, so I can't really cite them, but apparently like the Black community spends a lot quicker than all other like, you know,
I believe it.
Right. But if you trace it back to like after segregation, you know, after everything was not divided anymore, people stopped supporting like Black-owned businesses. So Black people stopped shopping Black because they felt the need to prove that they were worthy of shopping at these places they once couldn't shop. Right. So then now that kind of we're conditioned to do that. And now whenever there's like a Black-owned business, a lot of us are hesitant, and we don't, because of the way we were treated, that the item's low quality or you know, okay, here's an example. Here's an example I read, and I got it, like, it's sad. So a lot of times, like, we can't, this is where we got to really come together and not put each other down. But if we shop with a Black-owned business, or someone shops with a Black-owned business who is Black, and they have a bad experience, they're quick to put them down publicly on Facebook. But if you go to McDonald's and you order ice cream knowing damn well that machine is broken, and they tell you that, you don't go on a rant. Like,
you don't.
We can't do this to ourselves. And that example was like, dang, that's so true. Because like I said, I still have work I need to do within. I'm not perfect. But it's all learning. Like, we need to let go of the mindset that we had and how we were conditioned to think. And we have to support ourselves first. We do. Rather than just expect our allies to support us. Yeah.
And I think that comes from like self-confidence as well. You know, when you say stuff like that, and it's true, you know, you go to McDonald's and you maybe even have a crappy burger. Maybe you go on a Facebook rant and say, you know, oh, this burger was crappy, but I'm sorry, word of mouth and spreading like the negativity of a business. A Black-owned business at that is going to spread like
McDonald's will be fine. Be careful who you shit on right now. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and also like if you're Black putting down a Black-owned business, like we can't do that. We got to think about the change we want, the bigger picture. And, you know, that's just something, it's a good time for us to really, like, take this time because we want change. Like, we're affected. We just have to do better as a collective, as a whole. And there are places that are bigger, like national, I guess. WeBuyBlack.com and buy from a Black woman.
At that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, where you can find essentials. Like, it's not easy, but we're working on that. We're going to get there. Yeah.
We Buy Black. Okay, I'm going to make sure I put that down.
Yep. So, and one more fact really quick, but I did read that 2 cents of every Black dollar is spent with a Black-owned business. So, so we just got to do better. And it's knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Yeah, and, you know, with the pandemic happening and everyone kind of slowing down, you know, relating back to the George Floyd situation, you know, rest in peace always. I think this is the year that we were just fed up. Like, not only were we fed up, but we had time. We had time and we were fed up. And, you know, normally, it's sad to say, normally when someone Black is killed by a cop, it's so sad to say, but normally when this happens, we go back to work. We go back to our daily lives. We're in an uproar for maybe a month or so. And then we're like, okay, you know, that was horrible. RIP on a shirt. This time when it happened, we had time. Like I said, people are at home, people are on the computer more, people are able to kind of sit back and dissect the situation and be like, we're not going to let this happen for another year. So I like that this is the time that a lot of people are cultivating their Black businesses as well. If you're not going to do it now, if there's not a better time than now, I don't know when that time's going to come. You're never going to be financially as stable as you want to be. You're never going to have as much time as you think you're going to have. That's never going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're so right.
And this is the time that you have to do it. And I think it's so cool that you started Soul Street during this time. Because, you know, knowing you personally, you've worked for a nonprofit that helps the community. I appreciate the nonprofit that you work with. I just think that this is something that's kind of coming from like your soul.
Yeah, this is a passion, and it's not easy to find. But and people are like, how it's not that easy to find a passion, but you got to really listen to the things that speak to you.
You do.
Yeah, and I would have never thought that I'd be doing this like a year ago, but
look at you.
Yeah, I know, but you know,
You're
the energy of the people on the team is so contagious. Like, I always knew that I had some type of entrepreneurial spirit in me, but it wasn't until I was surrounded by entrepreneurs that I was like, okay, I'm going to dedicate myself to this. And like, people have pushed me. So I'm really appreciative of that. And you're right. 2020 has sucked, but it's like a year for us to, it's been a year, and I mean, we can only do something about it or just deal with it and accept it. And I'm just
we're not accepting it
anymore. Yeah, for sure.
No, my mouth isn't quiet anymore. I'm not the good, nice Black girl anymore. I'm sorry. That mold is long gone, boo.
Yes.
I'm here to put it on Front Street.
For real, though.
So I have a couple of questions I wanted to ask you. So if you want to kind of break down why you decided to go towards the nonprofit route instead of going towards, you know, the LLC, which I think is more commonly known and understandable, but I don't know if people understand the breakdown of them too.
So when starting, like, the idea of the LLC was something we were going to pursue, but as time went on, really, like, none of us like make a penny off of what we're doing. Like, the money that we're getting from, like, you know, the fees of the vendors and things like that, it just makes the most sense to, if we want to help the community, the Black business community, we need to put that money into our operation so we can continue to be here, even like provide like grants to businesses and things like that. It just seemed like we're also like, yes, there are a bunch of entrepreneurs, but there's also a bunch of community minded people, and I'm one of the community minded. So when it comes to the business side, I'm learning a lot. But like, we really weighed the pros and cons of each, and it just really, I don't even know how to like explain it. Honestly, it feels right just going the nonprofit route.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it perfectly when you said, you know, some of you have the need to help the community. Yeah. And it's like, I could definitely understand that.
Yep. It's not about any of us at all. And that's the thing. It's like a selfless thing that we're all doing, putting the time in to help others. And
yeah, because you're not getting any salary. You're not getting any salary from this. Yep. You don't see a penny from any of the events that you're throwing. So this virtual event that you're throwing, like you said, is for the people and for the vendors.
Yep, exactly. So, and at the end of the day, what it boils down to is, you know, if we could provide an outlet on a weekly basis, like a weekly farmers market, and the money can go back into the markets and they can be better, and then we can cut a check to like a business each time, then we're doing our part. And, you know, and as a nonprofit gets bigger and it grows, like, you know, we have a board of directors, you can have a staff that you pay to operate as it gets bigger. But none of us are in this for the money. And it was kind of known from the beginning. None of us wanted to, no one said, okay, like, where's my check? Like, cut me my check. No. We are just genuinely, this is a form of protest, and that's what it was from the beginning, and it just seemed like the best thing to do. And we did explore the possibility at first of having an LLC and a nonprofit. It just seemed too complicated. So
to have them combined.
Yeah, to have them combined. I don't even know if you could do that in Maryland. I'm like, yeah, there was a whole, like, this era of our existence was like a whole headache, but we have a mission and a vision statement. Our mission, I'll read it to you actually. Yeah. I'm still, you know, practicing saying it off the top of my head, but I know what it is. Just
of course. Uniform version. Like a formal, like, good sentence or two.
Yeah. So We aim to empower the Black business community through events, outreach, advocacy, and education. And then our vision is to create economic opportunity for every member of the Black business community while rebuilding Black generational wealth.
Yep. Girl, that's music to my ears.
Yeah, and I'll drink to that.
That's an eargasm. Cheers to that.
Cheers. Yep.
Cheers.
I like that term. Eargasm.
So I know I was talking to my sister. What's new? You know, it wasn't too recently, but it was, you know, at some point. And she was telling me about how you guys had helped a Black business. You guys have a small corner in the new, what is the new store that opened in Frederick? The Common Market?
Oh, no. So not yet. We've been in talks. We have to continue that conversation, but they are completely open to, what happened was they came to our August 15th market, and they actually reached out to us before then. They learned about what we were doing. Like, a lot of people were talking about us. So I won't say too much other than the fact that they are interested in learning how they can get more Black businesses on their shelves. So we have some ideas of how to work with them. I think our biggest thing is like working with these vendors first, so we can like really, you know, be that middleman. But I would love to see us like do the same type of thing in like Wegmans even. And when the world opens back up, it's just kind of hard when like now we're about to shut down again. You know what I mean?
Know. Yeah. It's like there's only so much you can do. There's like restraints with the pandemic. Yes, you can still throw a virtual event. Yes, you can still, you know, do this, that, and the third. But when it comes to like longevity of things like that, that might just have to take the back burner just for a little while.
Just for a little bit, but it's time for us to like get established and to continue to like do our research. And I think hopefully when the world opens back up and we can do our weekly farmer markets, we'll be on shelves. Yeah, so
we'll be on shelves.
We'll be on shelves. Our vendors will be on shelves. There will be representation, and we're gonna have important conversations with really important people. Someone reached out to us about working on policies for Black businesses. So there's all types of things. People are the name is, you know, like there, and the brand, and people are really interested in like working with us and learning how they can help. Yeah. So it's really exciting. It's only been a few months of our business. Yeah. I get chills thinking about it. Yeah. It's so crazy.
So if people don't know, some of the people that I have interviewed are from Frederick. So I moved from Frederick about 2 years ago. So I have a lot of friends, well, my entire life in Frederick. And then I have my kind of newer life in the DC area. So when we talk about these types of conversations, I don't want people to think that, you know, just because we're Black, we are in a completely Black community. We're not. We're still the minorities in Frederick. You know, it was still new to me when I moved to College Park that I had a Black server, and then I would say, you know, can I talk to the manager? You did a great job. Can I like say you did great? Then the manager comes and they're Black, and I'm like, I've never seen that before. I didn't even know how to assimilate myself into the Black community here because I'd never been around something like that before.
Yeah, for sure.
So just because you're Black doesn't mean you were raised in an entirely Black community. Of course, I have Black friends, Black family members, of course, but it's not like I was raised with Black teachers, Black role models, Black guidance counselors. I think my bus driver was Black growing up. And I think I had one Black teacher growing up before I went to college. But and it's weird to say, but it's true. And I think a lot of people can understand that this Black life is a little new to me, just a little bit. Not being a Black woman, but being able to be invited to the party, I should say. You know what I mean? Being able
I know what you mean. Yep.
And I know you can relate, being around Black
people. Frostburg is because like Frederick's not, you think it's okay, there's a lot of diversity and this and that, and you're around like a lot, you think, and then so Frostburg is like the whitest town, like honestly it's in the mountains, like Cumberland.
You were at Frostburg, I was at Salisbury,
right? But so I wonder if it's the same there, because Frostburg during the off season it's like no Black people, but literally when we come to school it's DC and Baltimore come to PG County. And it's all like, you know what I mean? Like you got your Ethiopians, you got your Nigerians. Awesome. And I think I learned so much about myself.
I learned so much.
It was like a shock, but I was like, oh, okay.
I became Black in college.
Yeah.
This
how you straighten your hair? Okay.
Right?
How you take care of your hair? All right, cool.
Yeah, Salisbury, the community is, and it's effed up to say, but it's true. It's like uppity white folk and
Yeah.
then kind of struggling Black folk there.
Yeah.
So when you go to the stores off of campus or off of, you know, the main drag, unfortunately, a lot of times I saw a lot of Black people in poverty. And then I'd see the white professors walk by or drive by in their cars, and it was just, there was no medium. Yeah, there was no mediums.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, so I don't like seeing that type of stuff. So being able to be a part of a community where we're helping each other, putting money in each other's pockets, and spreading, you know, positivity is new and exciting for me, at least.
Yeah. So on a related note, you know, I'm trying to like, you know, make myself a forever student to this topic. So there was a report in 2019 that showed that the median Black family today owns $3,600 of wealth, which is 2% of the wealth of the median white family. And it really hasn't changed since the 1960s era. And by 2082, we're expected to reach $0, like just the way our spending. So like, and that's one thing that when you support Black businesses, you're building the wealth gap. You're supporting the wealth gap. So for example, like a lot of families, we don't have generational wealth. And say like, you know, God forbid, like a lot of people when their parents pass away, the only money that they get is from like the shitty life insurance policy that they have. That's not much money to like invest in anything. Whereas you have these families who, you know, these families who are white that have all this generational wealth, and owning a business is effortless for them. And then they have these large corporations which are doing just fine during a pandemic right now. You know what I mean? Just shop small, but especially just shop Black. I just had to go on that because when I was learning about like learning about the wealth gap, it was just heartbreaking. It makes me want to do better. Like, you know what I mean? Like it makes me want to leave something behind for my kid. And when you support a Black family, you're helping them send their kid to college, and that's a big step because you already know when you go to college, your resume is looked at as opposed to someone who doesn't. And so
okay, so
another reason to shop
I'm gonna
Black.
give y'all a statistic too.
Yeah.
I told you this one earlier. So I read the Forbes list for 2019, and it said according to the Forbes, is it 500 Fortune 500? Only 4 of the people that were picked were Black, and out of those Black people, none of them were women. I don't know what that percentage is because I'm not good with numbers. If someone wants to write it, I don't know. But only 4 people out of 500 were Black. Now, I don't know what that says about people of color in general, but we're speaking on Black, period, Black businesses. So if that's in correlation with this nation,
I think it says nothing about Black people. I think it says a lot about like the you know, the systemic stuff that's in place. Like, I mean, people are still being denied loans or given like lower loans amounts with higher rates than white counterparts. Like it's not really redlining, but it's, you know, the roots are there.
But it is kind of.
The barriers are there. Yeah.
Okay, so I have a pretty good quote. I read a really good article earlier that outlined the difficulties of finding Black-owned businesses in like non-major cities. So somewhere like Frederick, you know, you might just have to Google it. But the quote says, supporting a Black-owned business means more than just goods and services. They are community space for meetings and connections. They're cultural hubs and platforms for local artists. They provide programs and resources. Strengthening the Black business helps strengthen our Black community. So, you know, we keep emphasizing, you know, buy Black owned. It's more than just the dollar. It's what that represents. And that's something that we really want to get across is what it really means to support this Black business. Yes.
Absolutely. And that, you know, like we just talked about Frederick and other areas, it felt like on 4th of July, because I know it rained on Juneteenth, we got together on 4th of July during this crazy year to make a statement like, you're going to come shop Black and we're going to have this party celebrating Blackness. We know this isn't our Independence Day. And it was just a bunch of, like, it was cool because I was like, you know, it was our first event and it came together so quickly. The first event actually wasn't supposed to happen like it just fell into our lap and we had a week to put it together.
That's crazy.
But we had, you know, so you came in and you had like Common playing, like, you know, you had food and just, it was colorful, and, you know, you could buy your shea butter with African beads and your art. And it was just really cool because it just felt like, where else in Frederick can you get this kind of experience of Black culture? Like, so that's what our events have felt like, our 2 events. So it's cool to be able to provide that space, like, to celebrate us. And a lot of people on our team have admitted, like, you know, they're getting in tune with their Blackness. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they've never been more proud than they are now to be Black. Like, being Black has always been an amazing thing, but, like, to really understand, like, your culture and learn more about it, and to celebrate it, because we don't have many, it's hard to celebrate it when you can't, like, do it publicly. Like, yeah, so
it's suppressed.
Yeah. For sure.
So how cool would it be if you guys had like a Soul Street? Like, some people may not want to just go through the whole business thing, right?
Yeah.
How cool would it be if someone in like Oklahoma was like, you know, can we use your name and collab and throw a Soul Street market here in Oklahoma and get Black vendors?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. So when we were talking about like our structure, we didn't want to be limited to Frederick. We thought about putting Frederick in our name, but we love the idea of going outside of Frederick, maybe starting like Montgomery County and then going to Virginia, whatever. We would absolutely do that. I think if you are in your community, like, this isn't a competition. We went to another market in DC. We're aware of a few other markets. If you have the capacity to put together a Black-owned farmers market, I know there's one in North Carolina too, do it. Like, we have the same mission and interest. We can collab. You can definitely reach out to us. We can give you some ideas. We can come out there and we can put on the market for you. You might have to pay us though, so we can get there, because, you know, we're doing this for free, so at least pay for our travel. But yeah, I think that everyone should, one, research if it's already being done. Like, it wasn't being done here. Don't duplicate any like efforts.
No, if anything, just collab.
Yeah, collab for sure. So yeah, the more we're supporting the Black business community, so it's not a competition at all.
You know, when I was in Frederick, not too long ago, I mean, it was probably about a year ago, last summer, I remember going to, you know, Cafe 611, of course.
Yeah.
Anyone from Frederick knows 611. Shout out to Rita. Shout out to Randall.
Yeah.
But I remember talking to the owner, who my friend Rita is dating his son. So I was talking to the owner, the dad, and, you know, a lot of the events at 611, it's a mixed crowd. They do rock, reggae, you know, R&B, go-go, whatever. But he said every time I throw an event with Black folks, it always turns into something negative. And when I throw an event with white folks, it seems like things are always positive. And I'm like, okay, well, that's an interesting way to look at it. But then I looked at it as they're one of the only Black-owned businesses in Frederick.
Yeah.
Where Black people are able to kind of just relax and unwind. I don't know how that correlates, but somehow it does.
No, that makes sense. That's an interesting thought.
And he told me that he was the only, it may be different now that Jerk and Jive is there, and I know they have a second location, but he told me he was the only Black-owned business in Frederick with a liquor license.
Oh, really? Yeah. No,
I mean, crazy.
Listen, it's really hard. I was thinking about this today, like, because I want to do better, but I can't. Well, one, like, I don't eat meat, so I have to, like, my options are already limited. So now I have 2 places. The wings be looking bomb. I'm tempted to go back, but like, I need more options. And I know there's people who don't have like certain permits that I can support, but I also have to be mindful of that. But I still want to support. So definitely be open to supporting those people who don't have permits. That's basically, especially exactly. Yeah, definitely do that. Like, it's a thought, but then that's where the conditioned thinking comes in, right? Like, oh, it just must not be. But they need the money to invest in themselves to get those things. So you got to support them. So yeah, it is crazy to think that there are only 2 that have their liquor license. And then, like, for the Love of Sweets, they have other food options, but it's mostly sweet stuff.
I always see them on Facebook. Oh my God.
Yeah, Cinnamommy has her cinnamon rolls. They look delicious. And then Emojes has her soul food place. She had some, I think her shop got shut down for a little bit, but yeah, she finally got a cooking space again. So it's important to, like, support. And she actually did really well during the pandemic, because people tried her food and they loved it. And I don't think she was fully established. And then she started to build up. Yeah. And then I don't know what happened, but she lost her cooking space, but she's back at it, so I'm excited.
Yeah, so make sure you guys follow these people, even if it's not a perfect journey. You know, try and stay true to being, you know, a customer with them, especially if it's like one of a kind.
Yeah,
a lot of businesses that I support, I will never go to anyone else until the wheels fall off with them. I'm sticking with you.
Yep.
And that goes for other businesses as well that aren't Black owned, but we really need to put that mindset back into our community of riding with people till the wheels fall off. Of course, all businesses can be better. Customer service can be better with all businesses, to be honest. But we have to stop letting these shortcomings get between us putting our money with our community. Come on, you gotta stop BSing.
There's a tip. I was trying to like find ways to make it effortless a little bit more. You know, aside from Soul Street being here, we're still growing, but there's a way you can work spending and buying Black into your budget. If you budget, like try to start small with 10 to 15% of your budget and then grow it as time goes on. So like maybe for your luxuries, like hire a Black cleaning company or dine out with a Black business, you know, one of the options if you're in Frederick that we just named. Or find like someone to do like home repairs, like if you need like plumbing or things like that, get your car detailed. I know that upper echelon, you know him?
Hey!
He does car detail. I've been meaning to go there, I just haven't.
Definitely upper echelon.
That's gonna probably be like a gift to myself.
Yeah, so I know, you know, I had some business meetings during the pandemic on, you know, social distancing. But I know some of the places that were suggested to me were all white. And I said, you know, and it's crazy because I said, I don't mean to be difficult, which is so crazy to say, but I said, when I eat out, I've only been supporting Black owned businesses. And the person was like, wow, you know, I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry. I should have, you know, thought of that. And it's like, I mean, it's okay. Like, you have the idea in your head now, but, you know, even doing things like that. I've been eating out and I haven't been to anywhere but Black owned since I've had this thought. But it's easier for me because I live basically in DC. So, you know, I can wake up and freaking spend my money with Black people and it's easier. But when it comes to smaller towns and places, you do have to put in that little bit more of effort. And,
for sure.
And not only support people through money, but also support them through their social media as well.
Yeah, share their posts. You will share like a recipe video. Share especially if it's your friend, like, or if it's an acquaintance, like share their posts.
I don't know why people are so stingy. Like, part of me's like, I feel like I'm too nice. I want to share everyone's stuff. But then it's like, okay, but you guys aren't really supporting me. But then it's like, you know, I want to do this for my community. I want people to know about it, even if you aren't necessarily supporting everything that I do. I still want your cause to get out because I like what you're putting out there. So don't forget this week I'm doing free promo.
Yes, I'll be sharing the post. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Can you say that again in case anyone who follows Soul Street tunes in like right now?
Yeah, so this week I'm going to be doing free promo for Black owned businesses around the country. So whether you guys send me DMs from freaking Atlanta or Cali, wherever you guys are from, please send me your social media, send me a short bio, and I will gladly post you guys on all my social media because I really want people to start seeing more Black owned in front of them and knowing that you can, you know, spend your money with different types of people. So yes, this week I will be doing free promo.
Question for you. Were you in that Frederick County takeout group?
Always. I'm in all of them.
Do you remember the one like in the thick of COVID? It had like 10,000 people.
He got the guy Chris opened it, right? Was that his
name? Yeah. And then you remember how it got shut down? I think that
fueled a lot of people. He was racist.
Well, yeah, I don't think he's racist.
He's not. His wife's Black.
It wasn't him really, but I think that fueled like a lot of people in Frederick wanting to shop Black. Like I think everything that happened with George Floyd and everything, but also in that group because that had 10,000 people. But basically, what happened was after George Floyd was killed, someone posted in the group, "What are the Black-owned restaurants?" And
I remember.
Yes, and people were like, "Oh, why do you want to support Black? How?" And then they were trolling it, talking about where are the white restaurants?
Where are the Asians?
Like, yeah, as if it was a problem to support. And for me, it was hurtful. Like I'm sure it was like, what? Like people are really hurt over wanting to support a Black business, and that just shows as a reflection of like history. Like
That's
they don't
sad
want
to
to see
me.
black. They don't want black businesses succeed. Like, what is that? It was and then the group ended because of that. They shut the group down because of that. Yeah.
But you know what came out of it? The Frederick minority owned page.
Yeah, and then that came out, and that was cool. But I have noticed a few times, and it is a great page. They have a lot of resources. They have like a spreadsheet that is helpful. But a lot of times, some of these businesses that get recommended are not even minority owned. So it's like, you know, like if you look at like some of the recommendations, they're not really minority owned. At least from the couple times that I saw. But
that's why we stick with black owned. Forget the minority owned. We doing black owned, boo. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, we are always this will probably be the last tangent I'll go on tonight. But
okay.
You know, we're always grouped into minority, people of color. I don't see anyone going out of their way to make sure we're getting spotlighted.
Yeah.
We are always going out of our way to make sure we say minority owned, people of color owned, person of color. No, we're not doing that right now. Okay.
Yeah.
We're specifically talking about black owned businesses because if we don't put ourselves first, nobody else will. Every other culture is, you know, making sure they push forward themselves. We as black people need to stop carrying everyone else on our backs and carry ourselves so we can get to where we need to be.
Yep. It's time to make a seat at the table that we made, like straight up.
Period.
And I will say that it's time for people to start paying for black culture and stop like or capitalizing off of black culture. Like it's time for us to make money off of our own culture. And we see that too often, especially in like, you know, in Hollywood and hairstyles that come out and
girl, I'm sorry, but if your skin don't look like mine, stop putting baby hairs down. I'm sorry.
And do it, but give credit where it's due. Like if you do it, I don't know. So I mean, for real though, like it's time for us to start. Why is it so hard for black owned businesses to succeed? But then there's people making money off of things that we created.
Exactly.
Yeah. So really quick, I have to plug somebody who's in this chat. So a black owned business, the holidays are coming up, and with 2020 being really crazy, I decided to Christmas decorate early, and my girl Kayla Danae of Worthy Waves hooks up my house. I gave her a budget. Like I have seasonal depression a little bit. I'm tired. I'm over it. She came over and she hooked up my house and like it boosted my mood. So if you need an interior designer, a black one, hit her up. So I just had to shout her out and home decor, all that good stuff.
I think that's relatable because once it's 5 p.m., I'm ready to go to sleep. I'm like,
oh, it's sad. It's like it's 5 o'clock. Like
I don't remember it being dark this year last year.
I know. I'm talking about 2020. Yep.
Okay, let's see. Some people in the comments. Can we find Soul Street on IG? Oh, that's Frederick Bound. That's a friend of mine whose business that is.
Okay.
Right here. It's this page. Yeah, it's at my Soul Street. This is awesome. It's sad I missed. Oh, okay. I just wanted to see if anyone had any questions. Oh, cute. Okay, cool. I'm really sure this doesn't fall. Okay. Well, if you just want to, you know, reiterate, say whatever you want about your event, because we're going to get going. And buy black owned on Black Friday.
Yes. Okay. So, I mean, that was pretty much it. But yeah, so make sure you follow us. This is our Instagram at My Soul Street. Make sure you go like us on Facebook at facebook.com/MySoulStreet, because the event page that we're going to be streaming Black Friday will be streamed on Facebook. We're going to re-air it as well on Cyber Monday. I didn't mention that. But you have to mark as going in the event page and then turn on your notifications so you know. And as I said, share that shit to your TV. Sorry, I shouldn't cuss. Share it to your TV.
At this point, who cares?
Heat up your leftovers, get a drink of your choice, have your family get around the TV and like come learn about some awesome black-owned businesses. Yeah. We're going to have a DJ playing in between. So there'll be some good music, some entertainment. We have some fun stuff lined up. Santa is going to pop in. I already spilled the tea on that, so it's not a secret anymore. And definitely keep an eye out for our future endeavors, because we're going to, you know, take this COVID period to like really plan for 2021. Hopefully we have a regular farmers market. We'll definitely be having more events when the outside opens back up. And that's pretty, sorry. You know what's crazy? I literally told my mother do not call me from 8 to 9.
She's like, well, it's almost 9.
I know, but anyway.
Whatever.
No,
yeah, I feel like this is just the beginning for you guys, and that's what's so exciting. Sure. You guys are catching Shana at the beginning, okay?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm excited, and it's going to be a great time, and I'm really excited for what we're going to do. We do feature DMV area businesses right now, so if you want to vend with us in the future, you can absolutely do so. Go to our website to learn more. Awesome.
And what time does the event start on Facebook?
Yep. So it starts at 1 and it ends around 5.
Yeah. So you guys are going to get 4 hours of entertainment.
Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yay! Okay, well, I'm excited. I'm definitely going to be tuning in on Friday after I stuff my face with turkey.
Yeah.
Shout out to my sister.
Get that turkey coma.
Yeah, my sister's cooking. I'm not. So, are you gonna come
I
over?
might be. I think I might be coming through with a little dish. Yeah, you know.
With baby Ashton?
Yeah, I'll probably bring Ashton. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll probably bring her.
Yeah, I'll probably bring her, I guess. So yeah, I'll bring her, of course.
Yay! Okay. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed my live today. And again,
Thanks,
you guys go check out their Facebook and go ahead and follow their Instagram at My Soul Street. You guys can just click on it from here. And let your friends and family know if you guys are in the DMV area and they want a vendor, please tell them to reach out because they're trying to grow and they're trying to make sure. Oh, before I say anything else, can you name a couple of the vendors really quick?
Oh, for sure. Okay, so
I forgot.
Yeah, okay, so I saw them pop in the chat. So we have Mac International Foods, also known as Easy and Tasty Jollof, which they make a jollof rice that is easy. Like, it's literally easy to make. If you love jollof rice and you don't know how to make it, get a bag of their jollof rice. You add chicken broth. Anyway, so we're going to have Divizzi Conquery, and I hope I'm saying it right. We're going to have Ego Style, a lot of clothing vendors. We're going to have Michelle Seamoss be featured. We're going to have our 10-year-old CEO, Naya's Lovely Beads, in the house. Well, not in the house, but as a commercial. But you're going to get to learn more about her. She just filmed her first commercial with us. We're going to have Rare Glow, Shea Butters, and Body Care. And we're going to have NICU Butter, which her stuff is all made in Ghana. Gosh, there's so many. We're actually doing a good bit, and I feel bad that I can't think of them right now.
It's okay.
It's Sunday night.
But
yeah,
go check out the page because you
go
guys
check out the page. Absolutely, and tune in for sure.
Cool. Okay. Well, you guys tune in Black Friday at 1 p.m. And you guys have a really good Thanksgiving. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Don't hang out with people you don't know.
For sure.
Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.